Fortune cookie.
A fortune cookie.
That time of the year again.
Please, 2023. Love is for the lucky and the brave.
Right. Let's see how that's going to translate to a conclusion of our interview. How's that?
Let's see.
Right. Keep it. You'll need it just now. Right. Welcome to our installment of our Faces of Summer 2022. Right. I'm personally excited to finally meet you. Like I said, starstruck, meeting a legend. I can't wait to pick your brains. Welcome.
Ooh, stop picking. Hello, Brian. Nice to meet you.
My pleasure. Right. I'd like to speak briefly about your background. Just makes things easy. Please indulge the viewers by give us a small synopsis.
Yeah, I don't come from a wine background at all. It's I grew up a little bit in the Free State and also predominantly from the Eastern Cape. And yeah, my family is not big wine drinkers, not at all. And so yeah, doing winemaking was quite a weird step for my parents to actually get their head around. You know, I sort of remember a very awkward conversation with my dad on the phone, trying to convince him to become a winemaker, and the words that he uttered was not something for the public. So we'll rather leave it there. But he's fairly happy now because he gets discounted wine and he gets a lot of free samples as well. So he's fairly happy that he actually stuck with it. But I was very interested in chemistry behind winemaking and sort of wanted to be outside and wanted to farm as well. And the whole chemistry and biology behind it was fascinating.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing a bachelor's in science with the idea that, you know, if things didn't work out, I can always fall back on medicine and so on. You know, I think everybody, when they grow up, your parents want you to become a doctor. It's sort of the main thing. So that was always a backup, but it was really, I think within the first 2 days of arriving in Stellenbosch, I knew there was no coming back. Well, there was no going back. It was wine, and wine. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You work with winemakers, and predominantly the leadership in Kleine Zalze is female. How are you enjoying that?
We just had a discussion about that before I came here. That we might need a bit more testosterone at Kleine Zalze. But you know what? I love working with them. It's quite a different dynamic, and the attention to detail is a lot better than what I can do.
Right.
That's the truth.
But you're known for attention to detail.
I am known for attention to detail. They do it even better than that. Even better. And we have an amazing team. Even you know, right across the whole portfolio through the whole Kleine Zalze team. I mean, our head, our general manager, Karina, is a lady. And then superstar. I mean, a very good knowledge of background of South African wines and the world. And then 3 of the winemakers working in my team is all ladies, one of which is my wife as well. So
saw that coming.
Yeah. So we work together on a daily basis.
Right. Now, when it comes to the background, and I'm not talking history of Kleine Zalze here, just a little bit of background in terms of philosophy of your artwork. You're a director of the entire winemaking now.
Yes.
And in terms of production, from vine to wine, tell us the process.
Yeah.
Simplify it for the layman on the street.
Yeah, you know, Kleine Zalze is a Stellenbosch-based winery, and we are very, very proud of that. So it's very important for us to be known as Stellenbosch. But our philosophy when it comes to winemaking is that we really want to take what we find in the vineyards and in our soils, and we want to put that into a bottle. You know, every vineyard tells a bit of a story. And when we talk a little bit maybe about the Shannon later, you know, those are very specific vineyards with very specific stories. And some vineyards have different stories, and that's really what we want to do. You know, we really want to show what these vineyard sites are all about, and produce wines that people have some insight in what we always see in vineyards and what we, you know, what we get to do on a daily basis. So our philosophy has always been to make the best possible wines from the best possible sites, and that last word, you know, the best possible sites is a very important sort of phrase. You know, we always talk about terroir and terroir about wines, and it can sound like a very intimidating word, but terroir is actually just, you know, what is all around us. You know, I'm sitting in a very specific terroir at the moment, you know, and this has an influence on my terroir, and this is exactly the same with grapes. You know, it's everything that's got to do with that has an influence on how that grape is going to taste, and who knows even how it feels, you know, because a lot of terroirs has an impact on how we feel in general, and that has an impact on how we taste, etc., etc. So we really want to try and bring terroirs into bottles at the end of the day.
Fantastic. I really agree with that.
I'm going to open this.
Yeah, you may. Please do.
We're talking and there's no...
Yeah. There's your other philosophy. Talk and drink.
Yeah.
Right. In your expert opinion, what is it that we can do in South Africa to improve local consumption? This is based on the fact that you approximately export about 70% of your produce, right?
Yes, we do.
Right. The question is, what do you think we can do to improve local consumption?
I think it's all about education. I think people are scared of wine sometimes. I think it's daunting to have wine. So I truly believe that we just need to educate people. And cheers to that.
Yes.
And not everybody likes big, bold, dry Cabernets or Sauvignon Blancs that is bone dry. You know, and I think there's a completely different target group that enjoys wine that might be a little bit sweeter. And I think that is part of the educational tour, because everybody starts somewhere. Yeah. And there's so many different wine styles out there that you will definitely find a style that you like. And I think it is literally just getting the wines to the people, letting them to taste it, and getting them to actually understand what they like. And as we all know, you start somewhere, but by the end, as you grow, and 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 years later, what you end up drinking at the end is completely different to what you started.
I fully agree. Right, let's talk about the wine.
Yeah, so this is our Kleine Zalze Brut. So Method Cup Classique, or these days it's only a Cup Classique. Only Cup Classique. It's bottle fermented sparkling wine, made in the very traditional way. It's made from Chardonnay Pinot Noir, so traditional champagne grape varieties as well that we grow in Stellenbosch. So the whole idea with this is to be fun. It is bottle fermented, so it is made very traditional. But you can see the packaging. You know, it is. I don't want to call it funky, but it is fun. It is an open. It's inviting, and the wine itself is made in that fresher style of Cup Classiques, So the lease contact on this wine is about 18 months compared to some other ones that become, very biscuity and leasy when they stay longer. The idea with this specific one is that it must be fresh. It must be inviting, that you want to drink another glass and hopefully even a bottle by the end of the day. And we're sitting in summertime now. We're heading into the Christmas period. It's nice and warm outside, and this is for us is this is the perfect time to drink this. And not only I grew up where Kap Klassiek was drank only with celebrations.
Yes.
When these days it has really become something that is an everyday drink. So we will launch a nectar in December in our tasting room still, but then only roll that out to the greater public as of February, March next year. Yeah. So the products have been everything is done. So now just putting the labels on the bottles.
So that's a special invite to Kleine Zalze in December.
Yes.
To taste.
Yeah, and you'll only be able to taste it there.
Before the rest of the world gets it.
Before the rest of the world gets it.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, Brian. I'm very fond of this wine, and this is our vineyard selection Chenin 2022. It is just released. And this is our range where the word and the brand says it all. It says it's vineyard selection. It's very specific selections of vineyard in Stellenbosch. And this is the first time that this wine is also certified as a heritage vineyard, meaning that all of the grapes going into this has been certified that they are older than 35 years old. So if you can always see on the seal as well, the vineyards used in this planting is between the ages of, was planted between 1977 and 1987. So we use a couple of different components. And then most of our Chenin Blancs come from very specific soil types as well. And this is not, I like taking people to vineyards, and a lot of people, when you walk in the vineyard, you sort of, the first thing you look at is what's the view, and the view has definitely got something to do with with the terroir. But the main terroir comes from the soil for me, and I brought you guys a little bit of a sample and
of a soil.
Of a soil, and this is something very unique to what we do. And so this is granite. And Stellenbosch would not have been Stellenbosch if it wasn't for the amount of decomposed granite that we have in our soils. And for a winemaker, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, I want to kiss it. It's beautiful.
Please don't.
I won't. For somebody that wants to build a house, this is not something that you want to see, because when you find this on your property, it means that your house building has gone through the roof. But with time, all of these little pieces break off, and I mean you can and we call it decomposed granite soils. So we find a lot of our Chenin is grown in this, and when you see it, the soil has always got like a little grayish color as well, and it brings a very, very unique flavor profile to our wines. It's very, it sort of tends to be a fresher side. It tends to be more mineral. You almost get that taste of when you hit two rocks against each other, and that's something that I'm very fond of. The soils are beautiful, and they have a very, very unique character to our Chenins. So the other combination of this,
let me see if I can taste that,
and old bush vines, which is also most of the old vineyards that I've just said, just makes the wine that has got a different story. This is 2022. It's fermented in barrel. Yeah.
Very fresh.
Fermented in barrel, but only older barrels. No new oak. The idea is not to have oak. The idea is just to sort of help this wine along.
Yeah. The backdrop of vanilla.
Yeah. Well, it will always be there. It will always be there. But you know what? The amazing thing with these vineyards, and I touched on it a little bit earlier as well. When you walk into these old vineyards, they really have a story to tell. You know what? They're calm. They are happy with who they are. It's not like a 19-year-old student in Stellenbosch still trying to figure out. And you get this in this wine as well. The wine has got a soul. It's calm. It is what it is, and it's happy with it.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Remember at the beginning I said after the fortune cookie,
Yeah.
I said you might have in closing used those words. Want to take advantage of that now?
So love is for the lucky and the brave, and we just had a bit of a discussion about that, and it is, I think when you work with a natural product and you are a farmer and you work the land, I think you need to be very brave, and to actually make it work, you need to have luck on your side as well. So love is for the lucky and the brave. So that is for all the farmers, all the winemakers, all the guys that actually work the lands to make this amazing product, which is a natural product. It's a product that is influenced by the wonders outside, by the weather, by everything. So we work with nature to produce these wonderful wines. Cheers.
Yes, photos up.